a very hot Marilyn. And listen, you've got another heat wave coming.
I know. And just as it's going to start off again today, I am I must be mad. I booked this date to have there's some very elderly friends I know, bless them, and I'm doing roast lamb. How lovely in this heat.
And all the trimmings. Don't forget the
And
trimming.
all the trimmings, yes, but yeah. I'll just drink more chilled wine.
You're a load of wimps. We've had 115
Yes,
degrees in old money,
awful. Awful,
and it's
awful,
going to go
awful.
on for another 2 or 3 days.
Awful.
No, it's not good.
They say it's been the news this morning was it's been here in England the hottest July in 190 years.
Yes, I think we've all had the hots. Oh no, you
Well,
don't say that in Europe.
I still remember 1976.
Yes,
I mean, it was relentless. It went from the start of May right the way through to early September.
it was the longevity of that one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I don't know.
It'll rain. We said that
It
about the
will
school
rain and
holidays.
rain and rain,
Yeah.
and then we are not here. We are not a drought country.
Well,
So
there's a solution. Why doesn't everybody move to Northern Ireland and the west coast of Scotland?
absolutely, you're up to Lerwick. It's lovely up there. 16 degrees this morning, pouring with rain and
Throwing
thunderstorms.
it down. No, you wouldn't like that. Yes. Well, listen, we're going to talk about cash for a start. Cash is king, and we're relating it to Spain. Lots of restaurants and even shops now saying we only accept cash.
Oh,
Now, there's two things here. First of all, there's the dreaded credit card,
yes.
which is a real burden. It's all right saying, oh, it's only 2.5%. Depends. Can be more than that, a bit less sometimes, for the shopkeeper to bear. But when you're making small margins, that
Mm,
is significant.
it is. It is.
So there is some a cautionary tale there. But the other thing is, of course, and we compare Spain and England and Britain in general, and we get a lot of the ethnic minority shops saying we accept cash only. Now, with respect, there's too many of them doing it,
Well,
not
we all know what that's about.
naive about it. We all know what's going on, and so do the authorities. It's
Yeah.
been going on in our towns and villages in Wales where we have our restaurants for years, and they get away with it. Why?
Tax evasion, money laundering, you name it.
Yes, and nothing happens to them.
No, it's so obvious. Everybody knows what's going on. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the same with, the car wash people, all of that.
Nail bars, you name it.
yeah,
Well, there is a law in Spain that they've got to put by the cash register a big notice saying we only accept cash. Because if you go there and you've not got any cash on you, it presents a problem.
of course it does.
And so you've always got the choice of paying cash or card. It's not the same in UK still.
Very rarely, but you do see it. You do, and
Yeah.
it catches you on that. You think, oh no, and so you go, oh, go on in, get. Where's the nearest cash machine? You go and sit down, look at the menu. I'll come back. Then you lose your parking space.
How much do you pay at an ATM in Britain now when it's not the bank you're with?
I don't know.
Ah, right.
I don't know because I only go to a general ATM. I don't go because we don't have any banks anymore, do we? I mean, you've
Yeah.
got to go miles to find a Santander. So I just go to a general ATM, and I don't know. I don't. I just think, well, I want the cash out. I don't even know. I don't look at
But it's
percentages.
it's another little erosion and another little cost. And it's all
Yes,
right saying it's only 1% or whatever it is. That mounts up
it mounts
over.
up. Absolutely, it does mount up. Yeah, that's why I hardly ever carry cash. Because then some people will say they don't take it. So it is a pain. The supermarkets, where obviously with COVID and all of that, they wouldn't take any cash. Now they'll do both. But not every old lady or old gentleman the very elderly people, they don't like, they still believe.
Technology.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw a check. Can you?
No, that's true.
But I think the schools still use them, which is so archaic.
The
Yeah.
schools.
Well, I think instead of paying you by backs, they think, oh, we'll send a check. They send it second class. It takes forever to get to you. Then it has to clear. It gives them another week with the money in the bank.
Ah, cunning. There's always a way. Right, we move on from cunning to grooming gangs, and actually, we're still in the land of cunning. And we're particularly paying attention to our wonderful, delightful friend who you love to bits, called Sir Sadiq Khan, who remains silent about what's happening, even though we have got 9,000 historically mentioned cases of
Huh,
grooming, raping, and allied functions.
that's right.
And it's been going on for 15 years. The
Plus,
commissioner, Sir Mark Rowley, has told, well, we've got to do something about this. And there's a petition, 46,000 signatures, gone in. And what has Sir Sadiq Khan done? Obfuscated again.
but
What? Oh, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't mean what you mean. Do
you
you
don't have
not
to go
understand?
far to see it. I mean, I get all the time coming through my newsfeed of children that have gone missing. They're nearly always 11 or 12 years old, gone missing from London. There's a lovely little lad at the moment, 11 years old, that's been missing for 5 days now. You know, it's ridiculous. And I mean, not being funny, his office is right by Westminster, which is one of the worst places for picking up kids. I mean, you can just see it in your face. If I go down to Mike Graham's studio, you go down to Vauxhall, you see them there. If you know what you're looking for, and it's not difficult, really isn't difficult, you know, in the shadows, you know, sort of thing, you see it. You see it all the time. The man isn't a complete idiot. And what gets me is that Andy Burnham definitely knew, and this newly appointed Bev Craig, unbelievable, awful woman. She redacted a lot of the evidence about the grooming gangs. And not only that, she then dragged her feet before she gave anything over to the authorities. So, you know, they're all in it together. It's an absolute cesspit, and the swamp needs emptying.
Yes, and that goes along with the law that is now been snuck in, that you don't have to divulge your criminal past.
That's dreadful.
It's all part of the establishment.
Oh, it is absolutely dreadful. I don't see. I mean, you shouldn't have. If you're a minister, there's certain jobs you shouldn't have. I mean, if you had a dodgy DBS, you know, a DBS check, so you're at school, and it came out that you at some point have been shoplifting, something even like that, you won't get appointed, and neither should you. But the trouble is, what no one understands is if you've done anything, it sits with your name forever and ever. So, you know, if you've done something when you were 16, 17, and you apply for a job at 46, then that still shows up.
It does. There's a room for debate on that. I
Mm.
mean, the youthfulness, the exuberance.
Well, I think so. I mean, you can, I mean, if it was just that one off, or when you did something stupid, made a wrong decision when you were like a young teenager, and you've led a clean life ever since. I mean, it doesn't make you a criminal, does it really? I think it depends what the criminality is. But
Yeah,
if you're representing, you know, I mean, the number of crims Bloomin' Burnham's got.
well, let's be realistic about this. If you've done it when you're a teenager, you're very much likely to carry on in the same vein.
Well, yes. I mean, and if you've gone to a correction unit, Young Offenders Institute, secure unit, you are likely to come out a better, a better criminal.
Yes, having learned the tricks of the trade. Okay, we're going to move on. One of the things, of course, in all this is the prison problem, which has not been addressed by either party for donkey's years. But there is certain facts coming out that you've got to take on board here. Number one, 10,000 criminals in our jails are of foreign extraction born abroad.
There you go.
10,000 gets better. 6,000 of those can be exported now.
Well, why aren't they then?
Well, exactly. 3,000, we have agreements with other countries for returning criminals for them. The other 3,000 are a little more tricky, but certainly in total, 6,000 can be immediately got at. And with a government in the right mind, the whole 10,000 can be got at and shipped out. Problem solved.
Exactly.
80 odd thousand spaces in prison.
Exactly.
Not.
And you look at and it does depend on the people that are going to be let out early, because if you're looking, as I said to you the other day, if you're looking at the category C prisons, a lot of those people are, I'm not saying, I mean, any crime is awful, but, they're not really a danger to the public. If you've done somebody that was done for fraud, not a big fraud, but whatever, somebody that shoplifted, somebody, some of these people shouldn't be in prison anyway. They should just have what's it called, probation, and, clock in there and have do so many hours community service. They shouldn't be behind bars. They're not as so people go behind bars. They should be because you were a threat to the public. But
Uh,
the police officer, the people that killed that police officer that were young, and I think that's the excuse they're using. Anyone, in my mind, that kills an emergency service worker, be they police, ambulance, or fire, does have to have the full force of the law with no reduction in their sentence.
and they were laughing
Oh,
and making
arrogant
light of
little
it.
arrogant little sods, they really were. And I know they were what we used to call pikeys. They were gypsies, they're travelers.
Yeah.
And I know exactly where they came from because I'm from that neck of the woods where, I used to live there. I know exactly where they were living, and they
And
were
they
living in
initially
different
sought
types.
refuge with the gypsy community. Yeah, say no more. But we are living in fairyland. We know that. And we daren't call out the guilty, but the innocent get called out for inverted commas
So it'll
hate
be
speech.
funny. There's so many people, lefties and idiots, that are blowing fairies out their backside, aren't they?
That's where we are. But let's come before we leave this subject back to Sadiq Khan. He's the first one. Sorry, Sadiq, that should go to jail. He knows what's
Absolutely.
going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, but I'm afraid along with a whole truck of them. I mean, Starmer's another one. There's just so many of them that are involved in it. And also Andy Burnham. I mean, he knew what was going on. And there's video evidence of it as well when he was up there in Manchester.
Yeah, there's a big problem and it goes on. Don't think, folks, it's going to get any better.
No,
Two reasons. And we're going to cover that in another program. So you can think about that. What reasons will you give for our demise as a nation? Because we are demised big time.
big time. Yeah.
Right, we move on. And you thought that was scary. No. What about the new nano computers and the supercomputers? We've been touching this on our programs with the States, mainly because the leading edge, of course, is in Silicon Valley of what is happening. You've seen the teleporter system on the Enterprise with various captains on board, and they jump from one spaceship to another or from one spaceship to the planet. Oh, it's fairy stories, back to fairy stories. No, it's not. We can actually now do it. It's been done with packages. And forget the drones, they're all almost out of date already. So you don't need a drone to deliver your Amazon package. You can have it transported. Not yet. It's not quite there. And when you get onto human transportation, that is possible. There are big problems. We won't repeat our program, but there are problems, as you can imagine. But problems may be solved. So it's all down to what's happened with the computer, coupled with AI. Now, this only happened last week. In the east coast of America, they decided, oh, well, we'll test one of these new robot computers, and we'll see how far it can get. So they did. but we're not going to connect it to the internet because it could go rogue. So there are safeguards. But remember the film Space Odyssey 2000, it was called? The computer there, HAL, and a long time ago, 25, 26 years ago. And it took over the spaceship and mankind. And you think, yeah, not, it's happening now. Because what this computer did, given a bit of rain, it had to solve various problems. And one of them, it couldn't find the answer. So it had an idea. I'll hack into another computer. Oh, I know where that is, in Seattle on the West Coast. I'll have a go at that. And it did. It hacked into the computer, ruined the other computer, and got the information from that computer and came up with the answer. They are taking over, folks. That
I
is
had a
scary.
very strange thing with my computer yesterday, and it was bizarre. I couldn't use my passcode number, my PIN number, wouldn't accept it, said it was wrong. Then it wouldn't accept my password of my email address. So I rang up my computer guy and he did everything for me and he said, "Oh, no, that's not the PIN number you use." I said, "It is." He said, "No, it's not." So he gave me one that I used about 2 years ago that I've stopped using. Unbelievable. And then what did I also do? Then I couldn't get into I had to change my password, that's right, for my actual email address. Then I thought, oh, phew, I've got in now, brilliant. But then I couldn't reply to anything. It just disappeared off the screen. And I've got the firewall going on. I don't know what happened, but he put it right and said, oh, it's okay now. It was really bizarre.
Well, if you want to make real money, folks, open a corner shop, cash only, and repair computers and reprogram them. You make a fortune.
Yeah, I
That is
bet.
the future. Never
Yeah, I
mind the
bet.
plumbers and electricians. Get into computer science. We move on to Edinburgh, uh,
Oh,
commonly known as Edinburgh, of course. And it's £5 a night if you want a hotel from August in there. They followed the French system. It started, I believe, when you had to pay a local tax of about £1 a night. And you think, oh, what's a pound? Well, it mounts up if there's four of you in a
yeah.
hotel. Well, it's £5 in Edinburgh. It will raise £50 million a year.
Wow.
Now, the Edinburgh Festival that is now on, and which we used to film, and it's a delightful festival,
Oh, yeah.
but it's stopping people going already. There is a Glasgow ballet company that regularly go over Christmas for a couple of weeks, and they've had to cut their tour short because they can't afford all their ballet troupe at £5 a night.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's being greedy.
It is greed. Yeah, it is definitely. It's awful. It is awful. It's awful. Um, if we're talking about greed, I would question the greed of care homes. One of ours locally has just gone up to £1,900 a week. How can you justify that? I
I
mean,
don't know what to think. Is it very posh one?
it's quite posh, it's quite nice, but even so, I mean, how can you justify it? I mean, they don't eat much, do they, elderly people? And you've got dementia, you've got all sorts of infirm people there. I don't understand how you can justify it. It's crazy. And also what they do now, if a carer needs respite and you want your loved one to go into a care home, just while you go on holiday somewhere, you can't, you have to do it for at least 2 weeks. So even if you're going away for 3 days, you have to pay for 2 weeks. They have to be in there for 2 weeks.
And this is a private company, is it?
These are private companies, but even the council ones aren't a lot less. They're really not.
Well, that's over £100,000 a year if you work it out.
It's dreadful. It's I don't know how anybody can afford it. It's dreadful. And of course, then they will dip into your finances and everything else. I mean, I always remember my father saying to me when my gran lived at home and then she was in care and all of that. He said, "Oh, when you get to this age, darling, make sure you've got no money and no property because they'll take it all from you." It
Yes.
hasn't changed in 55 years. It hasn't changed. But then even in the hospital, I mean, it was dreadful. One of my friends, her husband has dementia. He's in his 60s. And he was taken in because they thought he was coughing up blood, right? So he was in a hospital for 3 days. Every time she went in, he was absolutely saturated in urine, right? And the nurses said, "Oh, we don't know how to change the bag." Pardon? We don't know how to change the bag. She was having to change the sheets. And one night he rang her at midnight and said, "Oh, can you, it was bless his heart, can you come and get me? Because I need to get to the airport because family are arriving and I need to pick them up." Well, this all, you know. Anyway, and then she said to the nurses, this is at midnight, she said, "Oh, has he had his dementia medicine?" "No, he won't take it." It can't be in here and not take his medication. So she put him on the phone again. So she spoke to him and said, "You want to come home, don't you? Well, you've got to take this dementia medicine. Okay, you've got to do it. So the nurse is going to give it to you and I'll come and take you out, take you home tomorrow." Right. So she says to the nurse, "Give it to him now or he'll forget." So next day she goes to pick him up. They hadn't given it to him.
No.
And she one day she went in his wee bag because he had a bladder, he had to have his bladder taken out with cancer, was literally on his stomach, the weight of it on his stomach. This is how people get sepsis.
Yes.
This is a hospital, and she said she found out that, people are actually saying if I get taken in for an assessment, because that's what he was in for, I don't want to go into Ward 14 at Luton and Dunstable Hospital. I said, "Well, why aren't everybody kicking up? Care Quality Commission, why aren't you kicking off to the people that run that hospital?" I wouldn't take that line down. I really wouldn't. But it's dreadful. There we have it. What somebody else was saying, their husband was in the Bedford hospital at the weekend. He was kept 10 hours in a corridor and they forgot he was there.
No.
It's disgraceful. And
Things
yet
are
everybody thinks it's getting better. No, it's not.
no, it's not. It's getting worse and will get worse. The whole system is broken. Nobody's prepared to mend it and have the courage to do it. The NHS has always been a god.
Yeah.
It's a big god at the moment and getting bigger, and we daren't do anything at all. More of this in a little while. We're going to relieve ourselves, if that's the right way of putting it.
After that conversation, I
Yeah.
don't think it is.
And we're going to mention Dame Sarah Mullally. Who? Well, the Archbishop of
Oh,
Kent,
yes.
if you
Oh,
want
my
her new title.
goodness.
Yeah, I thought I'd get you going.
Oh,
Well, she wants to support communities, and it's a legacy, hopefully, of hers, the slave trade legacy combined. And she feels desperately sad and guilty, that's the word, for the position that she's in. And we've caused all this pain to the third world because we had an empire. And therefore, she set aside 100 million pounds from the coffers of the Church of England to make some recompense. That'll mean about 0.003% of a farthing to everybody that is going to claim, because they're all going to claim. They might be poor, but they ain't stupid. But let's do a bit
no,
of
she is.
possibly. Let's question two things. Number one, Dame Sarah, why don't you do something about killing of babies, abortions, instead of supporting up to birth
Absolutely.
killings?
Absolutely.
Number one, because that's here and now. That is real, not imagined. Like
And assisted dying.
she's got some hope there,
Oh,
actually.
has she?
She's not decided yet, but there
Oh,
may be
bless her. She hasn't decided
Oh,
yet. I think she
while
should
you,
have done by now.
while you mentioned that, it's coming back to the Commons in autumn, and they're determined to push it through. We thought it had been put on one side. It hasn't. But back to the Dame herself. Can I point out the following? Benefits of our empire were and are still the following. What did we do? We started off healthcare. We started off education. We abolished slavery. We set up courts of justice. And we immeasurably improved sanitation, sewers,
Yeah.
fresh water. This immediately, Dame Sarah, doubled the life expectancy of every nation. Overnight, slavery, I repeat, we abolished. I mean, isn't it utter nonsense?
It's
How are
complete
these
nonsense.
clever people given positions like they are?
Well, they think they're just no. It is absolutely outrageous, to be honest. I mean, it was something that went on across the world. Maybe we instigated it, but we stopped it, and of course, everybody's appalled by it. But the thing is, slavery still goes on today in a different form. People got servitude in this country, domestic servitude. You've got people. It's happening all the time. Not in the droves of bringing in people like coming on boats and hundreds and thousands and what have you. But it is wrong. It wasn't right. People didn't know any better. So why should we all? I mean, is it Lenny Henry that's always jumping up and down about it? I mean,
Well,
I'm
there's
not being.
another one that's been given a justifiable knighthood.
Yeah, well, they're all idiots, aren't they? All the people that get the knighthoods, it drives me mad, quite honestly. The people that really deserve them never get them, but probably never want them anyway.
They probably hand them back, yeah. We've mentioned the lovely Georgia Maloney, and she's been very brave with what's happened in Spain, and said no one shall pass. Well done, her. And the actual Council of Europe is meeting sometime this week to discuss Schengen and what it really means.
Hmm.
If it means anything, well, it means that you don't need a passport at a border, you come in and out. I mean, we bless it when we travel from Spain to Portugal, which
Yeah,
we do very
yeah,
often, because we just shoot through, that's it,
yes,
no
yes,
problems. But there are problems, and we all know why. And hopefully, the EU will come up with some consensus about how to stop these cross border terrorists, murderers,
yes.
thieves. Not all of
Rapists.
them, just most of them are not legal.
I mean, if you were legal, I mean, you would come through the proper route. And I think it is right to say, decent migrants, we need to speed up the process. You don't see the people coming in on the boats or those that are causing Spain a problem at the weekend. You don't see them waiving their qualifications, do you? You know, and all credit, all welcome all those. If you've got a profession, if you've got something to, offer the country, fine. And those processes should be speeded up without a doubt, because it's costly and it's laborious. And meanwhile, the dross keep coming.
They do, and nothing's done because there's no political will. That's the truth from north to south. And it feeds the lawyers glorifying all this. They set up what they should be setting up, in fact, is new laws to replace the old.
Yes, yeah,
You cannot
absolutely.
still work off 70-year-old laws.
No,
The world has turned,
and
but you
change,
insist
change,
on.
change, change dramatically. Dramatically. That's why I think in this country there's, and maybe other countries as well, there is some merit in bringing back the death penalty, I think.
Well, that's one of Rupert Lowe's demands from
Mhm.
Nigel
I,
Farage,
I,
of
I
course.
think so. I think if you are Axel Rudagabu, whatever his name is, that's due to go to Broadmoor now, who killed those three gorgeous kids, and I think someone like that, sure, why not? And yeah, I know the jury's out on it, and other people would say, "Well, yes, but we want him to suffer." But will he?
I don't think so. I think it's all froth. The Dolly
Yeah.
mixture thing keeps coming to my mind. He gives out little sweeties, but the fundamentals are exactly the same. They have to be. He is beholden to his ultra left wing MPs, usually the young guys from the north of England that have just been trucked in there straight from university. And we are governed by people that
Yeah,
don't know what they're doing.
yeah. Little grey cells.
You mentioned the NHS a little earlier. I've been digging, and things are not well. They are a disaster, in fact. There are stories coming out. I'll give you an example of agency workers being brought in to help with a particular ward. There's not enough nurses, doctors, etc. And literally, the fully trained British nurses are telling these agency nurses, 90% foreign extraction,
Mm.
stand in the corner, don't do anything, I'll do it. Wow. Why? A, because the patients cannot understand them and they can't understand the patients.
Mm.
This is a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. You need to bring back the matron. That's the thing. It was a big mistake when we got rid of the matron, when they
Well,
can go around those wards saying, "Why is this dirty? Why hasn't this been emptied? What's going on?" But it is so true. With the two friends I have whose husbands went into hospital at the weekend, they said that their husbands, even they, could not understand what the nurses were saying.
no,
A lot of them
it
were
is
African.
absolutely critical. You're all right, there's the fun and games.
Absolutely.
Make sure you cut the right leg off. Well, it happened.
It has happened. That's why they put ink on it now, don't they? They put
Yeah,
ink, a mark on you. But they were like all the time. I know myself. I'm always having to say, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What did you say?" They cannot, even if they think their language is good or it's the accent. They cannot
it's the
speak it.
pronunciation,
It's a
exactly that.
pronunciation. And I mean, I've been trying to get hold of Central Bed's adult services today. I haven't spoken to an English person yet, and I keep having to say, "Can you speak slower, please? I can't understand you."
Yeah. Well,
It's
let
so
me
frustrating.
tell you,
Adds to the frustration. Adds to the frustration.
yes, and you could do without that in times of stress, which is what it is when you go into hospital for
Mm.
family, friends, and you.
Yes, yes.
Now, going a little deeper, 50%, 49%, if you want to be extremely accurate, of the doctors are ethnic by nature
Yeah.
in the NHS. Half of the doctors, you think, well, why? We're never told why. I found out. 40% of the nurses, similar.
Mm.
The whole thing about being ill is very simple. The body will cure itself. It's very, very clever.
Mm.
There
Mm.
are times that the body needs help,
Mm.
like an emergency, road accident, you need a surgeon. The body cannot cope. But the person that is treating, the doctor that's treating the patient, needs to go into minute details, intimacies, and to have full knowledge. If
Mm.
you've not got the language, you're not going to help the body cure itself.
No, no,
And it's
absolutely.
so vital that. Now, why have we got this imbalance more than any other country? Simple. The NHS is an utter disaster run by incredibly, at some levels, stupid people that want to maintain the status quo, especially the management side. And the
Yes.
doctors and the unions are equally culpable.
Always, always.
Right. Well, hang on. We're not training enough doctors. We are, but they're going
Yeah, I don't blame
to
them. They're going to
New
Australia.
Zealand, to
Yeah,
Australia,
yeah.
to Canada. Well, hang on.
I don't blame
Why?
them.
Yeah. Why? Well, it's not just the money, although I've got to say
No.
now, if you go to New Zealand and Australia, you're going to earn from 1.5 times to 3 times what you're earning in Britain. But generally, it's not the pay, it's the conditions.
That's
You'll
right.
have to come in Saturday. You'll have to work overtime. You'll have to do twice as many hours as you should do
That's right.
because there's no organization. It's tragic and people are fed up. But if you're in the middle of India and putting up with conditions there, uh, it's great for you to come to England because it's nothing like Indian conditions. So you think you're in paradise. But those that know, like the young doctors, wow, we can work less hard, have a great lifestyle, earn up to 3 times as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm off. There's the problem.
That's right.
It's the diabolical mismanagement from government after government
Mm,
and from doctors and administrators that want to maintain the status quo. Because
mm.
if you get to a certain position in the NHS, thank you very much.
It is a corrupt organization.
It's exactly
It's
that. And I'll tell you the other thing that is, secondly, that's mega important. They will bow and worship the NHS free at the point of and all that nonsense.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let me tell you, in a poorer, it isn't, country like Spain and Portugal, at least 40% of people only use the NHS,
Mm,
Seguridad Social here, as a safety net.
mm.
They go private because, yes, it'll cost them, but not what it cost them in the United Kingdom. It's a rip-off.
It is a rip-off.
And we get
It's
private
dreadful.
medicine out here for half the price.
Mm. It's absolutely dreadful. I mean, and it's all the other things about carers and the benefits that we get, and when you look at it, it's just tragic when you think. So there's I was talking to some carers yesterday, and they're nearly as bad as the people they're looking after. But now, because of there was someone in government, and I had a blazing row with this person, I said, in the council, I said, these people are not spreadsheets. These are real people doing a job they don't really want to do, haven't had any training for, and they don't get paid, obviously. And now you're going to take their benefits away. It's absolutely disgraceful. And yet, and this is what winds people up, they're coming in on the boats and they're getting a free house and they're getting this and they're getting that, free dentistry, etc., etc. And they can't even look after our own elderly people or sick people. Even you don't have to be elderly to be sick, do you? It's dreadful.
We have run out of time completely. Lots more to be said about that, but have a think about it. Now we've got Nigel Farage, whether he can do it or not, saying get the Navy out there. But I tell you what, it'll do a lot for the psyche of the country.
Yes,
We need somebody with courage, like
exactly right.
Farage,
Mm,
to do that with the NHS.
that's right.
Don't
I mean,
try and make it better. You can't. It's
no,
got to be
but
shot and
Mark
started
White.
from fresh.
Yeah, GB News Mark White was on last night talking about, and he was quite strong, talking about, stop the boats and get the Navy out there and all of that. And he said, if people are strong and they commit to being strong, we can do this. We can do, I mean, Poland now are shooting them if they come, aren't they? They're opening fire on them in
Well,
Poland. And they were doing that today in Suez or whatever you're calling it. What's it called?
Ceuta.
Ceuta, that's right. They're doing it there. I saw some of the guards shooting people. Well, if you're going to act like feral cats,
Who are you going to shoot in the NHS?
the people at the top.
Well, it's middle management actually, but we won't go there. I repeat, run out of time. We'll see you very
So
shortly
you
when
saw, yeah,
we're
yeah.
in we're in a more cheerful mood.
There's nothing to be cheerful about.
Yes, there is. You're cooking lamb, my friend.
Ah, yes.
It's my favourite dish.
Bye bye.